Hey, it's Esther from Eco Chamber, and today I am going to be making, or at least trying my best to use this clay deposit that we picked up from the dump. I got some clay water, and I'm going to do my best to strain it out, purify it that way. We'll see how this goes. And we'll see if we can get some pure clay that we can play with. I wanted to share this video though for another reason. Clay is amazing. It's a natural resource. Right now it's up. I'm in the greenhouse and behind me is a dump, and you can kind of see the skyline, and you can see it kind of goes up because it's like a big hill. So the irrigation, or I should say the water runoff, it comes down, and it kind of, we have a little way that it goes down, and there's a pond on the other side of the greenhouse, and that continues to grow, and that's a whole bunch of organic matter and stuff that people are dumping back there. In fact, we found a tool next to my water bottle. There's like a little fork we found, if anybody wants to claim that. I found a pair of perfectly good pruners once, and I got some elm seeds from a tree as well, and they germinated, and now the elm are in the background. Anyways, natural resources are amazing, beautiful things. I have 2 buckets and I have 2 cloths. One is going to be for the fine clay, and the other one is going to be for the rough stuff, the big rocks and whatnot. So So we want to make sure that we get the fine clay in here, the rough stuff. One thing I realized is that I'm moving in 3 months. I'm not going to be here forever, and that's good. That's good. I'm going to miss this job though a lot. Going back to school for my Master's in User Experience Design at the University of Barcelona Institute of Technology, and I am excited because Eco Chamber started as my senior project in undergrad, and for my bachelor's, that graduating year, I found out that there was an abandoned garden on campus, was able to get permission from the sustainability managers whose stewardship it fell under to grow, got the connections with some of the great people over there, such as like Professor Eugene Kwok, who has an awesome farm, and knew of Island Harvest's connection with the Giving Garden. And it's pretty awesome, and I'm really, really thankful for those people and the initiative that they took to come together and share resources and time, and give what they can. Sometimes it's students. There's a lot that I learned. That was the first garden I'd ever really taken responsibility for, and I didn't know what I was doing. The person at Island Harvest is swamped with so much that they have on their plate that they're telling, like, okay, yeah, you just have to like put down cardboard, it will help snuff out and least disturbance. Great. I didn't know how to do that. Did not know how to do that. So there's definitely a point where, to be honest with you, there's like a hole right there, and I don't want that hole. See if I have more. I think I got a better one. Thank you for your patience, but yeah, these are all just enough. But yeah, okay. So this goes there, and this one goes there. Okay. All right. Sweet. So, this is what we got. Let's see if this works, but I have one bucket, which has a hole in it, and this, which is going to catch most of the, honestly, it probably will get a good amount. There's a crack, and that crack, I'm thinking, will help keep a lot of the big debris out. And I'm thinking of putting this towel on top to help with like squeezing out the rest from there. Not sure how exactly to do this without, you know what, this is gonna be, yeah, you know what, I think that's actually good. I'm just gonna pour it in and see what happens. I have plenty of clay and water, and I've never done this before, and I feel that way with Eco Chamber. I've never created something that I believe, and my vision is a form of currency with the plants and the natural world around us. Okay, pouring it in. Taking a pause. Yeah, we got a little splash. It's a little splish splash. We should probably keep going. Okay. You know, I'm tired of waiting for someone to save the world. I remember when I was blessed with the opportunity, when I took a break from school, pursuing my bachelor's degree in interaction design during the pandemic, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think the world is going crazy. Am I going crazy? Is this degree even worth shit? And guess what? Part of me itself was like, I'm going to finish. I'm going to do my best to finish. And life got hard, man, when I made that decision. In a lot of ways, I was battling a lot of things, and I went to a lot of parks to mentally, like, ground myself. Very healing for the soul. Then I started volunteering. After I decided to go back, I did an internship. I met a very good friend from Edinburgh, and they actually have an interactive garden there. And Tom, if you're listening or you ever see this, you're awesome, and I hope to see the gardens one day and have walk them with you, because very cool stuff. It inspired me. It inspired me to go back, and I got a job in parks. I was, blessed to have this job. And I am very thankful for it. Very, very thankful. Okay, this is good. I will say, because I've never done this, I feel like I'm making a complete mess. And I may as well be making a mess. This clay material feels pretty good. I just wish I had a bigger piece of cloth, I guess. This is maybe too small. Well, it does look really cool though, like the clay, but I don't know what I'm doing. That's why we have the internet. Now, I was proposing a lot of things to my coworkers, but I think I did a little bit of everything all at once. And it's very important to pace yourself and know what is the main mission. Right now, the main mission is get the solid, pure clay from this water. It's gonna need to dry and separate the hard stones. I think this bucket does an okay job with the crack, but see what we can do there. I have 3 months left before I leave the park. I'm gonna finish pouring this in, because honestly this is somewhat working. And we got a bucket big enough, so let's keep going. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. I know a thing or two about doing something, if there's something to do. I don't always think through everything I do, but I do know that there's a reason that I do it. And I think that's the same for you. Echo Chamber was made because I felt really depressed and hopeless at the state of the world. And I wanted to do something that I could control, and I started volunteering at parks. And I realized that the person who started the volunteer Saturday sessions at the parks was actually being kind of treated unfairly, and there was politics is always at play, and when you think about it, politics is just different people, co-workers, who get to choose the policies on what gets what in a government setting. It's always like a little political play in the air, I believe. So, I wonder how I can wrap this around. Tie it. See how this goes. And that's good. People are people. Echo Chamber is a place for you to be with plants. I'm not saying plants are people too. Plants are better than people, by all means. I believe plants are better than people. Respectfully. All right, I think we got a system. They make you calm when you look at them. You feel healed by them. They nourish you. They aren't people. They're better than people. Anyways, this actually is working pretty good. Play in the sediment. It's getting thicker, and it's kind of making a mess. The clay will wash off. It'll be alright. Wow. This is interesting, man. This is interesting what we got going on. So we have the hard clay, the clay and water with the cracked bucket, and then here is the cloth with the pool of the clay water. What's inside the bucket should be pretty fine particles of clay, and I think at this point I almost want to just see how this is like when it dries out, the surface of what's left on the cloth if I leave it out for a couple days. I have never done this, and I'm just playing. I'm just having fun and figuring it out as I go, playing with clay. I think clay is pretty awesome. It can be used to make stuff. I think about terracotta pots, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. A little bit different, pretty much. Okay. So, let's do this here. Alright. Okay. Alrighty, so we have our different buckets of clay. And I think that's quite good. And now we're gonna be able to see how they do. If all goes well, this is probably gonna evaporate a good amount. This, depending on the rain, will be really interesting to see what is left with the sediment, and then we'll strain what's in the bucket. I'm just gonna go with my time and play around with it. Really cool thing about creating change that you want to see in the world is that everybody sees a different version of the world. By the time I leave, I want to have volunteer group for every garden at this park and all the parks that I've ever ridden my bike to. The library, schools, college, the parks. And each one of these are really special to me because if society ever collapsed, this is where I would grow food, find resources. Hopefully these would be safe places for the community. And I want to make a lot of them because you never know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know that there's a reason why I'm doing it. And thankfully, there's proof that eco chambers wanted. I'll never forget how somebody was like, I remember you had the research poster about growing 100 gardens and you failed. And you shared, 7 factors to consider when growing gardens. And I asked every person that visited my poster to put a sticker down for the one that they thought was most important out of the 7. I believe location, plant, management, people, connections, resources, water. Those were all like different types. So, final piece. I heard that campaigns are good. And eco chamber is kind of like a plant. A plant in the idea that I'm one person. I can't take care of 100 gardens. But I think the idea of being able to support that many gardens in some way is good. I think about where my grandparents are buried in Jamaica, and how Mama and Papa are on the hill with my grandmother, who I got my middle name from, Katie Joy. It's my middle name. And this is a part of a garden I would like to, this is a part of me. This is a part of what I would like to help cultivate, to keep good, and to steward right, and support. I don't think I can be everywhere all at once. That's impossible. But if I can help in some way and see how others are helping, that's pretty cool. So, Eco Chamber, we're going to do a little campaign, and I'm really excited to share this with you first thing. Proof, presence, pressure. When I think of proof, I think about planting the seed. Maybe tagging where you put something, a stick. My mom puts sticks when she plants some things, and I think that's a great way so that you remember what you put down, where you seeded. Presence, being there, seeing it, watering it, shining light on it. Every plant needs these 2 things to some extent. Presence is that essential part of what the sun and water do to a plant. The proof is like the seed, the idea that has potential. And pressure. Some plants under pressure flower faster in order to survive. I want to put pressure on the local governments because they need it, and we need the environment, and whoever's in control of the choices that get made for the shared spaces on our land. I think some pressure needs to be put on them because the proof is in the pudding, and these babies, there's so many things going on, and every person pays attention to different things, accepts whatever level of proof they want to accept. Plants are just there. When you see a plant growing, it's proof that there's life, and native plants especially provide such valuable habitat. The more you pay attention, the more you're present with it, the more healing it is. The pressure part is really important though for actually getting paid. That's the pressure of why. How does that work? I have no idea. I think the easiest way, honestly, would be make your own currency where there's a pool of money. It's called a decentralized autonomous organization. Each person who puts in any money is a part of the organization, and they have a set voting right. Personally, I believe the best way, this might be a little bit of, let's say, capitalistic communism, but It wouldn't be money as much as how much are you doing, how much proof are you delivering, and how present are you with the space, because the ones that are most present see the most of what that space needs, and so they should have an opportunity to make the most impactful decision on that area because they're there, they're living with it the most. So the pressure part is just how the people approach the government. How do the government respond to different kinds of pressure? And when we talk about environmental pressure, where are they present? You know, what do they value? Okay. All right. Thank you for watching this. I'm going to put this Boltonia away. And I am looking forward to doing an event. I think it's time to do as much as I can with the time I have left in a way that makes sense, to reach out to as many people, connect with them on the land, and do something on the land. I don't really know what I'm doing all the time. I have an idea that I want to help, and I actually really do appreciate when people help me, and I can help them back. I think people that are present with the plants, immediately you'll know what a plant needs if you pay attention. The way that their leaves are curling or the coloration. Lots of ways to know where a plant is at. And my hope is to make a really easy way for people to share publicly what's going on in the land and put a little bit of pressure. If they want to help, here's a simple way to help. Pay attention to what's in your environment, what's going on, if you notice something. I don't think everybody wants to do the political play, and I'm thankful because I want to just have more plant people that are more focused on, wow, we're living in this world, we're sharing these resources, we have the ability to do something. If we see something like stand of invasive English ivy or honeysuckle, take it out, process it however you want, but understand how it impacts the ecology, because we all live together. The state of the world is the way it is because of the people and the way that we live it and the people that we're with and how we all live together. The ones that live among us, animals, trees, they can't speak. And I think that's a problem because we never really think about them in the decision making. And that's not good. The way that we do that, I don't know. Maybe a few people may be really interested in certain insects or birds or mammals, and they have an expertise in that field. And that would be amazing to put that pressure and be like, yo, these people actually are sharing information about, the things that are around me. I'm learning a lot, and I'm more understanding and more satisfied with the quality of life because I feel more connected. And God forbid, if anything happens to our network, like a great blackout or something, having these connections becomes vital for survival. And finding a way to self-govern in small groups that are manageable for your life. Also really important life skills to know, like, I don't know. These are the things I'm thinking, gardens are really cool. They're great. I think we all have the skill of gardening and maintaining and growing something to some capacity. And the more we can encourage that with one another, the higher the chances of humanity finding harmony here on Earth before the world ends. So, God willing, I look forward to doing a campaign for Eco Chamber to bring presents to the gardens, share proof of their importance and existence, and, the support that they give us and all living beings, and put pressure on the political parties that have ownership of these spaces. in this land. Yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. And I will see you in hopefully a more ordered video. If you're interested, Eco Chambers Beta is out. And please check it out. Please, PS. Please tap the link in the description and sign up, because that would be really cool. Share your garden if you would like. No pressure. Go to a park, share that public garden, you know, make a space. And that would be really cool. I'd appreciate it, and I would love to connect more with you, especially if you watched this whole thing through. Thank you so much. God bless, Godspeed, namaste. See you another day.